So many of these videos are just really for me to keep a record, a video blog, if you will, so later when I start to write this stuff down, I don't forget it or embellish it. Or I want to bring it to you as accurately as I possibly can in my human capacity. At any rate, we're back from Mount Shasta. It was a very successful trip. It ended with a fantastic adventure where I was able to recall that in a future life I was this programmer that actually randomized time so that we wouldn't go through time loops in such a way that we would understand and that we could forget past lives and all that sort of stuff and live each new life like a brand new television episode, if you will, or a brand new movie. And that's very exciting, but it's led to a lot of problems and a lot of lack of growth in our humanity. So what's very interesting was I've had visions of myself pleading with a very elite group of spirits that watch over this world and saying I wanted to lift this veil of forgetfulness for the people of the earth. I felt it was really a bad thing. And it was an inside joke with this council that I was the person that actually created the program, put myself into it and forgot that I forgot. And isn't that just so much how we really do live our lives? It resonated so truly, and I was writing it into my computer up at Mount Shasta at the Dream Inn where we were staying. So it was Dream Shield at the Dream Inn again. And just as I finished writing out what the MERLIN program, which stands for Mind Erasing, Randomizing, Linear, Infinite Nullifier, MERLIN, as I was writing that down, all the power in the entire place went out. We weren't running any power. It was just everyone was asleep and I was up blogging early. And I quickly ran across and found a pen and paper at the inn and wrote down what this was before I would forget MERLIN. And sure enough, throughout the day I tried to lose that slip of paper. We would find it in different places where I was leaving it. I couldn't recall it offhand. And then we did a beautiful meditation when we got back to Los Angeles, where we ended up at doing a meditation at the Rose Bowl, and we were getting these fantastic signals on the road trip back, where the radio actually started showing us code instead of just telling you what song it was in. It was all kinds of different codes and so forth. And Dr. Larson and I pretty much worked solid all the way through. Dr. Larson was in this other higher plane of existence or dimension, my colleague in creating the MERLIN spell, and we were looking for a way to crack its code. And just as we were sort of frustrated that we couldn't figure out what all these radio codes meant, one of our dream team members, Marta, handed Sarah Larson some of her paperwork. And sure enough, within that paperwork, just like secret code in a spy letter, some of the words were in big bold capitals and some were very oddly spaced. And as we read these words over this long dissertation that Dr. Sarah wrote, we found this whole code about doing self-love and how love is so important in breaking the MERLIN code, along with a lot of other things that we'll share with you. But the main thing for me was I was told that for the next 24 hours after we broke the MERLIN code, which randomizes you so that your days are not even really in sequence. We think we live our lives in a sequence. We think that time is in a sequence. But the randomizer of the MERLIN code keeps everything completely confusing, and we're just bedazzled by its complexity. And before our team would randomize and we wouldn't know what we were doing anymore and forget the MERLIN codes, we had to race to this meditation site before the sun was risen. And we sort of stood there and we were just sort of waiting for the sun to come up, when I realized, wait, we had to do this before the sun came up. We're just standing here again, ready to be randomized, and forget why we're here and what we're doing. So for 24 hours I've held self-love, and for a guy like me that was raised by a drill sergeant that has a ton of negative self-talk running in his programming, this was just a very, very big thing for me. And I just wanted to share with you the joy I'm feeling of not having that negative self-talk. When you do this work, and we hope many of you will by 2012 be joining us in this work of meditating for a better tomorrow. When you do this work, it's not just that you're doing it and there's no rewards. I was given the gift of self-love, and it's a gift I'm now going to hold on to the rest of my life. So I want to thank the angels who've done all this work with us, and after all my trips and so forth, literally I'm going over to the Ralph's grocery store and put this into a coin machine there and get some money to get me through the holidays here. Don't be alarmed. I get this low on cash many times. Money has never been that important to me, and I just have, every once in a while I got to remind myself, oh, I got to go out and make some money. So that's my reminder. And did a meditation today that, not for my sake, but for the sake of humanity and the dream team, that this little money here will multiply into millions of dollars to support the work of Dream Shield over 2012. I'll let you know exactly the total, and I always have a jet goes over when I really make a good point. It's very interesting. Here at the 9/11 monument, where the people of flight 9/11 on just an ordinary jet like that lost their lives. So being a little short on cash, that's such a big deal. And I don't see a single squirrel or bird in this park that's worrying about money, so I'm sure as heck not going to either.